Alrighty, folks. So I am here in Austin, Texas at Kirby Lane Cafe.
That's it.
Oh my gosh. First of all, I have to say, whatever I ate, it was like a sausage
Oh, you had the Cowboy Benedict.
Cowboy Benedict.
That
It was
really good.
amazing.
And that sausage that they have on it is just fantastic.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Mhm.
It was amazing.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so I had to say that.
I'll
So,
let the cooks know. We appreciate it.
so first of all, I'm sitting here with
Randy.
Randy.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, we want to hear from folks what space means to you.
Okay. That's a pretty broad question.
It is.
Considering we're such a small little planet in a great big galaxy, just a universe. It's people wonder if there's life in the universe. I can't help but think that there is. I mean, why are we the only people out of all the planets in the world that has developed life on its own? Really? No, I can't buy that. And I just think it's opportunity. I think it's the next evolution for our personal species, because we're going to grow beyond this planet, and we need to grow into a place where we can. And space is infinite. It has so much out there that it's just ready for us. And we are adaptable, so we can go anywhere, live anyhow, and we'll adapt. Humans are great like that.
Yes, some humans are.
That's fair.
So when you think about space, what emotions does it bring up?
Wonder, a little bit of fear, because there's so much unknown out there. But more, I'm a trekker, probably more closer to trekker than a trekkie. But like when I was a child, I saw Star Trek Next Generation, and it was the only show that came on, because I was supposed to have bedtime at 8, and it came out when I was in the 3rd grade. So it was the only show that I could stay up to watch every single week. So because of that, I grew this enormous love for just like culture and things that we could see out there, and people we might find, and the things that they've learned that just will expand our own ideas. It's wonder and opportunity, and a little bit of fear, and there's going to be a lot of death, because people are just, we're going to go out and do things, and nothing can't make a novel that's Megs. So either way, wonder, love, like fear, all that good stuff.
Cool, very cool. So if you could discover or do one thing in space, with space, learn about space without any barriers, like but don't worry about budgets, money, being able to physically do it, what would you discover or do?
There are can we have two things?
You're the one talking. You're the one talking.
I would want to be one of the crew that discovered the first Earth-like planet, and be able to explore it as a fresh pair of eyes.
Interesting.
That would be one of the first things I want to do. The second thing I want to do is, because communication is so important to me, and how to communicate with my fellow humans will translate over into how to communicate with my fellow sentient beings out there. I would want to be able to act as like a diplomat, or somebody who could actually go to these places and see these things. Probably for the same reason I'd want to be one of the first people to ever see a new planet that we will eventually colonize. I'd want to be one of the first people to actually ever really know a people, So that's how I would go.
Very cool. Very cool. And so as a space historian, which is what I am, and, among a few other things, my journey is about preserving the history of the first mission to Mars.
Okay. All right.
But it's also about creating pathways to these future careers in doing that, using the Viking mission as kind of a model for that. But what I do know is history, when it's written in textbooks, and eventually it becomes less and less relevant to current and future people.
That's fair. Yeah.
So what can you think of that I could do to make the Viking mission and all of its lessons remain relevant to you or future generations, however you care to ask? Or answer.
I am not as familiar with the Viking mission.
But just any space, just imagine, no matter what regardless of what the topic is,
understood.
How can I make this more relevant to you and future generations? Because
on an emotional level, understanding that space is our future, maybe make it a little bit more connectivity, have a little bit more connectivity to me specifically, talking about my future, my children's children, and so on and so forth. As we start really painting a beautiful picture of what it could be, there's going to be trials. There's going to be hard times, and it's not going to be all roses, sunshine, and uniforms, okay? But yeah, the things that these pioneers are going to do, it's going to make it good for all of us. And that is how something, I know that I'm not alone feeling this. I know I'm not. And I think that really connecting to other people who are kind of on the fence about, is it scary? Is it real? Do I really want to leave where we're at right now for something that could be better or maybe not, will probably be worse? I don't know. But really connect it to us in a way like that, that will just draw us in. You know, as a server, I find a lot of the times, like when I'm explaining things on the menu, that how I describe it is as important as what I'm describing, you know? So it's just important that we use, I don't want to say, it really gets into the gray area of like kind of like gaslighting when you're trying to lead them on into a certain decision, but it's not. It's just connecting them in a way that they weren't really thinking about before, like that they really hadn't absorbed into their own personal way of like ideologies. Mm-hmm. If we can connect it to people in a better way like that, I think that it will start really increasing the desire to see what out there. And of course, you know, having any kind of positive space missions that go out, come back, people like first-hand accounting of these kind of situations, maybe have them describe some of the beauty that they saw out there that would never been able to be seen from this planet. Because there's stunning things out there. Stunning nebulas and planets and orbiting moons and that are almost planets themselves, you know. It's incredible. I don't know. I don't know. That seems like a positive first way of getting that to that point. So yeah.
Cool. Well, anything else you would like to add for folks that love space or maybe that don't, and you know, your own perspective?
Don't lose your vision. It's really easy to get caught up in the day-to-day of minutia of our lives, and the no's are always going to be coming in by people who don't want us to succeed. Don't lose that vision. Just keep it with you. Keep that life, that flame in your heart, and just burn with it, you know, and help our species survive, you know. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a ton, Randy.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
Of course.